How old is too old to be a strip club DJ? So I was looking on Facebook the other day and I saw this post from Drayton Nay. And if you're not familiar with Drayton, he is a self-proclaimed strip club expert. And he said in this post, and I quote, "Sorry, but the strip club game is not for people over 50. My first reaction was, oh crap, I'm over 60. What do I do now? And as I read further down the thread, it was continued by a whole bunch of industry people, and most of which disagreed with Drayton, by the way, which is not shocking. But it got me to thinking, how old is too old to be a strip club DJ? How long can I do this? And what Drayton was probably alluding to is, do the young people that come into the club look at me as someone who is over the hill? I don't think there's a set age, but I'll tell you what I do see too much in this industry. I see strip club DJs that are a whole lot younger than me that appear to be completely and totally burnt out. So how do you stay fresh in this industry? You know, a question I get asked a lot is, how do I keep from getting burnt out? I mean, I've been DJing a long time. This is me back when I worked at Mingle's Disco in the Ramada in Sharonville, Ohio. And the memories of Saturday Night Fever, KC and the Sunshine Band, and Donna Summer. I know I'm showing my age, right? I mean, from there I worked most of the top clubs in the area until about 1996 when the club scene slowed down and I was looking for work, and a friend of mine said, hey, there's an opening for a day shift DJ at a major strip club. I think I can get you an audition, he said. So guess what? I went up, I did the audition, I nailed the audition, I got the job, and little did I know 21 years later I'd still be in this crazy business. You see, back then I always said that I would eventually get out and get a real job, but still here I am. So back to that question, how old is too old? Here's my answer. For me, it's not about a number, but about how long I can continue to enjoy what I do. But I have to admit, there was a time, though, about 10 years ago, that I was real close to being totally and completely burnt out myself. I mean, I wasn't happy at the club I was working. I really didn't see any hope of my attitude changing. The money was great, but I hated going to work every night. Long story short, one day I had as much as I could take. I turned in my 2-week notice. I had no plan. I had no clue. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I knew I needed to change something. Well, guess what? Here I am, still in the business. It wasn't easy, but now I truly feel like I am at my peak. I really feel like I am better now at this time in my career than any other time. So what was it? Was it a job change? I'm sure that was a part of it. However, it took me a long time to figure this out, but now I realize that the only way you can be happy with your job is to be happy with your life, which means getting control of your life. I mean, I had to change some things in my life, and the first thing I changed was getting control of my financial life. Let me give you 5 words that I had to learn. Quit spending everything you make. I was at a point where the more I made, the more I spent. So I was still going into work every night, stressing that I had to make a certain amount that night to make a certain payment. So what I ended up realizing is I had to simplify my life, so I did. I decided I didn't need to have a Porsche Boxster, a houseboat, a ski boat, a couple of Sea-Doos, and a pickup truck. Yes, I used to have all those things, but I was always stressing money until I learned those 5 words. Quit spending everything you make. Next, I had to realize that I had to separate my personal and my work lives. The club is where I make my money and then I leave. No relationships. I know in our business that's easier said than done, but keeping your mind free of personal distractions while you are DJing will help you focus on your performance. And of course, you must continue to learn and improve. Yes, even at 61, I still continue to have this incredible desire to learn and get better. And as you've probably heard me say in other Strip Club U videos, That if all you do as a strip club DJ is introduce girls to stage and play music out of their folders, well, automated computerized programs will replace you. And if you don't think they will, you are dreaming. And lastly, I'm going to tell you, this may seem funny coming from one of the oldest DJs you know, but you have to accept the fact that it is now 2017. I see all these guys complaining that it's not the same as it was back in the day. You're right, it's not. Customers nowadays are addicted to their cell phones. People are not as polite as they used to be. Entertainers have changed, and guess what? The internet is here. But you better accept it because you can't change it. And as for me saying earlier that one of these days I need to get a real job, I finally realized that I have a real job. A real good job. Yeah, it's not perfect. I have my nights where I get stressed, but when that happens, I remember a piece of advice someone gave me one time. They said, don't stress. It's just titties and beer. I'm sure I ruffled some feathers with my comments, so what do you think? Is Drayton right that the business is not for people over 50? If you are over 50, what's your secret for staying fresh? Hey, let me know in the YouTube comments section below. My name is Danny Meyers, and I want to thank you for checking out another episode of Strip Club U. If it's your first time here, I'd love to have you return, so hit that subscribe button. And as always, stay young, my friends.